Hello, welcome to White Birch Tarot. This reading is for Sunday, July 17th, I think, 2022. And whenever you happen to come across it, I did a reading last night about how do we find joy. And this is kind of a continuation of that. I felt like I wanted to ask the cards how to find meaning and purpose in my life, because my life has changed drastically in the last 9 months, whatever. Well, anyway, I'm looking for purpose and meaning, and I think that's kind of an anytime thing. So whenever you run across this, that's what I want to look at tonight. And I'm going to start off with a quote because I like to do that. And I don't know who said this, but I read it somewhere, so I wrote it down. And it says, he who never moves never notices his chains. That's really profound if you think about it. And it reminded me of the card I drew last night, which was Come to the Edge, about taking a risk. And I thought, if you never take a risk, how do you know what your limits are? So that's interesting. And I also like this quote from Emily Dickinson. She said, not knowing when the dawn will come, I open every door. Again, that's kind of like, open yourself up. So I'm using the Wild Unknown Tarot, which I'm not as familiar with. And the only thing I don't like about these cards is that they stick together. So when I shuffle and pull, I usually get two at a time and I don't know which one. So I don't use them as often, but I think the artwork is brilliant. So I'm going to start out here, and I hope I'm taking off my glove. I hope my skeletal hand, I'm so skinny, I hope my skeletal hand doesn't freak everybody out, but it doesn't look too bad. Okay. I drew the Nine of Wands. I love this card, and I don't know why this card to me always reminds me of, it looks to me like you're going down into the subconscious, but actually it's a card of going up, because I double checked in the book just to make sure. And it's actually strength, stamina, and confidence. And I think this is interesting based on what I drew last night, where I said that we've made more progress than we realized. Because this, I'm going to read from the book. It says, as nines usually imply, your journey is near completion. But on this final stretch, you find yourself growing weary. Doubt and fear are running through your mind. The Nine of Wands asks you to rally your confidence and realize how far you've come. Lift your eyes and take a few more steps. Soon all your hard work will start to pay off. And that's the message I got last night. And so I was just thinking about that today. And I did make a list. I did not make a list of, what did I ask last night? Oh, things that I had, foundation, things I had done on my own. But I did make a list of things, qualities in myself I trust. I started there. And that was helpful. And then I drew the Empress, which came out with this card. So I'm not sure if it's really meant for tonight or not, because every time I use this deck, I kid you not, I draw this card. But since Uranus is in Taurus right now, and Taurus is, the sort of the earth. I feel like the earth, it's a feminine sign. This is very earthy, and it's growth, and it's a really rich card. It's kind of mothering energy. I feel like it's Taurus. You know what? Let me check I didn't even check in the book to see what this book, how this book considers it. If it's different in this book. No, creation, nature, and the mother. Okay, so it's Taurian energy. And Uranus is in Taurus right now, which is really affecting, I think, the earth and bringing downloads of cosmic energy onto the earth. But it's also making things feel chaotic until it really kicks in. And then I drew the High Priestess. So we have another major arcana. There's one, here's two. And this, of course, is also feminine energy and associated with the moon, or in some decks it's Persephone, who goes down into the underworld. But this is your intuition. So when I ask, what's my purpose? What's the meaning of my life? It's asking me to go within, meditate about that. And it could also be telling me that my purpose is partly to work with people and their subconscious And perhaps even just, doing the cards is helping. I hope so. And then I drew the Death card, which is interesting because that kind of feels like it goes with the High Priestess. And Pluto is in Capricorn right now. And that means that Pluto rules death and rebirth. And Capricorn's a very earth sign, and governments and structures. And things are kind of falling apart around us. But sometimes they need to. If they're corrupt, if they're not working, they need to go. And this doesn't really look like a card of rebirth, although death is a card of starting over. But first you have to let go of the old. This looks pretty, pretty decrepit, really. I mean, but again, I wish they would have put a little dab of color in here to remind us that rebirth comes after death, but just remember that it does. And then we get the Ace of Cups, which is a lovely, lovely card of an emotional beginning, being offered something very fragile and vulnerable on an emotional level. And let me just see what they how they characterize it in this deck to see if it's any different. Love's beginnings. That's great. New friendship, new love. You could expect to enter a blissful time of health, making a whole new start. Go with it and allow the feeling to revitalize your spirit. That's what I was hoping for. I need a new beginning, and not sure how to go about it, but perhaps I'm making more strides than I think I am. And, I read that quote last night about if we want everything to remain as it is, it will be necessary for everything to change. And I thought that's so paradoxical, but so is everything on this plane. Everything is a paradox. You have to have death before you can have birth. You have to have darkness in order for the light to shine. Everything is a paradox. And so if we're going to have a new beginning, a new fresh life, we have to let go of the old. And the new moon coming up at the end of the month is in Leo, which I think is going to be really powerful in the heart area, in the heart chakra. And I feel like this is, some emotional energy coming in. I'm going to dare say love, no matter what. It doesn't have to be romantic love, it's just love. And then I get another major arcana, the Hermit. And this is about sitting with yourself and, basking in your own light and letting that be okay. It's really, I was asking about finding our meaning and purpose, and this is about going within to find that. I was wondering, should I reach out? This is telling me no, kind of stay in yourself. And then I drew the Five of Wands, which is not a great card because fives are strife. So this is feeling confused and lost, which is why I'm asking about my purpose and meaning, because this is how I'm feeling. But you know what? This is okay. Because if you're feeling this way, the cards are telling you, who did we start with here? I've already forgotten. That's great. The Nine of Wands. So we're closer than we think. We have risen farther than we think. We're getting some good earth energy in here, and some good intuitive energy, and some good, the death card. So letting go of something, the beginning of some good emotions, some good emotional energy, an influx of that, and then sitting with ourselves. So, you know what, if you're feeling scattered and lost, let that be okay for right now. Just sit with it and accept it. Don't try to change it right this minute. Just let it, I know that doesn't feel good. I keep trying to escape it, and sometimes you can't. And then I'm going to draw a couple of fairy oracle cards, the Heart of the Fairy, the Lord of the Forest. Again, this is really, most of the cards we've gotten so far I feel are feminine. The Empress, the High Priestess. Here's some masculine foundational energy. This is, reaching out. Again, the Empress is very nature-oriented. I'm reaching for my book here. And the Lord of the Forest is really strong. Let me see what the... this is the eternal masculine action and strength. That is good. So it says, it's important to do something. And I was just asking that. Should we sit with our energy and be the hermit? Or should we act? Because I was feeling like I should do something. And now this is telling me, you have been dreaming, now act on your dreams. In a relationship, take the lead. Actions speak, and to keep the masculine and feminine in balance, now is the time to act. Okay, so we're getting a mixed message here. I'm going to draw one more fairy card, Heart of the Fairy Oracle. So we're supposed to act, but I would say don't act until you ponder it first, because we're getting a lot of the challenge. I feel like this is very similar to Come to the Edge that we got last night. We are being asked to step outside our comfort zone and trust ourselves and trust the universe and trust others perhaps. And I want to just check this because I'm not real familiar with this deck either, but this is self-criticism, obstruction, and then it says go for it. This card asks you to step up to the mark and do whatever is being asked of you. Don't let self-criticism get in the way. Yeah, don't listen to the voice that tells you that you're not good enough, smart enough, beautiful enough, or talented enough to attempt the task in front of you. It just says, you're being tested, so go for it, and you'll be surprised at how much you can achieve. Okay, so my overall feeling of this is do your inner work. Ask yourself, well, first of all, assess where you're at. How far have I come? Because you've come farther than you think. That's what it told us last night, and that's what this is telling us again. You've come farther than you think, and seriously, do make a list of things you've achieved in the last, 4 years. Just to pick that out of the air. You pick the years, but because there's some good, solid, nurturing nature energy coming at you right now, and some good, solid intuition energy and death, but not in a bad way. Not in a bad way. Just as we had the devil last night, and I said, this isn't as bad as it looks. This is, Capricorn energy, foundational energy. I feel like this is really releasing something from the past, and this is a new beginning in an emotional sense. I don't know why I keep feeling self-trust in this. Trust go into your silence and trust whatever light comes out from that. You may be feeling lost and confused. That's okay. That's okay. Times are rough right now, but the Lord of the Forest is with you, and he's saying, go for it. And I've gotten him confused with the challenge. Why do I always wait until so late in the night to do these that I'm tired? I just should probably do this earlier because I'm so tired. I've now forgotten what the Lord of the Forest. This really inspires confidence, doesn't it? I'm not here to be all-knowing. I'm simply being a channel. Eternal masculine action and strength. Yeah, this is to do something, to take action. And this is the same thing. Go for it. But this is a challenge. So you may feel like whatever you are being asked to do is more than you can handle, more than you can carry, but it isn't. Pick up the challenge and go for it. Take the risk. But make sure you ponder it first. You don't want to do something stupid, but if you're being asked to do it, it's probably for you, is what I'm getting. And Let's end with one more quote from Carl Jung, the psychologist, spelled Jung. If you're not familiar with him, he was brilliant. And he said, one does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious. There you go. So take something perhaps that's dark in you, bring it up, make it conscious, and then use it. Use it for good. You know, that's where creativity comes from. Sometimes the greater darkness that you have in you, if you bring it up and let it be okay, like with the Five of Wands, let that confusion be okay, and then harness it and use it and make something out of it. Create something out of your darkness, out of your light, whatever. Okay, this has been White Birch Tarot. Please like and subscribe if you feel like it. And I thank you so much for listening. Take care. Blessings. Bye-bye.